Hi, it's Juliet, and today I want to talk about the Loungefly that I made last week, which the base for is this Mickey bag that I thrifted, and I wanted to use it originally for the Merlin Loungefly, but it didn't fit the design, so I had to change, and I still had it. And there's M's all over it, originally for Mickey, so I had to come up with a new character that starts with an M and have ancient vibes, so the browns and the beige would be a color palette that suits them. So I decided on Milo from Atlantis, and I wanted also Kira. The goal was for the two of them to be in front of the bag on top of the Mickey design that is already existing. So this week we're gonna do portraits, which I was a bit intimidated by. But I started with Kira. I wanted her in her blue form, so I took a screenshot of her, I printed that out and I traced only the outline first. Then I color blocked everything, so her hair is the lightest thing, then her skin, her chest is the darkest, her necklace and earrings I'm gonna leave them very white, and the darkest color of blue is for the shadow on her neck. The third step was adding her features, and using the tracing paper I messed up her face next to her mouth. After painting her eyes I tried to erase it but it wouldn't work, so I had to paint over it. Then I added the lights, filled up her mouth and did a lot of touch-ups, and I was done with Kira. The fact that she's blue makes it very forgiving if she's imperfect and stuff like that, because she doesn't even look that human. So I was really thrilled by how it looks, and I was very proud and telling myself, see, with tracing paper a portrait isn't that bad, you can do it. So I tackled Milo. After trying to make a skin color with my paints, I did the same steps, used the tracing paper to draw all of his features, then block out all of the colors. For now I just made his hair pretty much one color, and his eyebrows are way too big, I made them way too big at that point. I used a lighter color of his skin for the glasses just to make them seem like they're transparent. At this point the goal is just draw anything, whatever color you want to put on the leather, just stop being scared I have a base to work off. So I added all of his features and I make them very dark, which I'm gonna remove because I don't like that. First I added the shape in his hair, which are very blocky in Atlantis because it's an animated movie, so they could make hair by hair, and that was easier for me. And then I lightened up all the features because I wasn't really happy about the black. I did leave it for the glasses. I added the lights on his face, tried to shade that for a bit of a while. And then I tried to add highlights on his eyes, but I messed it up. And then trying to fix it, I messed it up even more. But then I just repainted over it and it was fine. Placing them two on the front pocket, I realized they are not hiding the whole design of the Mickey thing that was there originally, so I repainted over that. And I had a lot of leftovers from Milo's skin tone, so I decided to paint the background with his skin tone. And more I was doing that, I was having fun, so I kept adding colors, and on the second layers it looked like that, which honestly I wasn't unhappy about. I thought it looked a bit like the mines, and I used all of the color from the portrait of Milo, which was really cool. Then I placed Kira and Milo where I wanted them to be, and just to show them off or look at them, I tried to place them differently, just messing with it. But then I placed Milo in the bottom and Kira on the top, which wasn't the original plan, but I thought it was really pretty and it was occupying the bag better. So then I was like, oh, I discovered something. This is actually nice to me, in my opinion, that looks good and I should do that. I guess it was hiding the black little label, so in my opinion it was prettier. I ultimately decided to glue them like that. For Milo, it went really well, it was very fine. For Kira, when I tried to glue her, I realized, oh my god, there's a pocket, and I just glued that shut, and then there was glue everywhere, so I had to clean that up in urgence, and then I realized her head is popping up. So I need something to be sturdy behind her head so it doesn't get floppy and ugly. When I did my Merlin bag, I had bought plastic transparent thing which you can cut with a box cutter, even though it's very difficult. So in a panic on the side, I was roughly trying to cut this plastic shape before the glue dries, which I succeeded to do, then I glued it up, and it was all fine. So that's what the first Loungefly of that week looks like, because after that, I decided to make another one which was very fast. For this Loungefly, I'm really happy about Kira. I think she looks super cool and I'm very happy about her. I'm less of a fan of Milo, but he exists. I like that he represents the scene where they go swimming, because I like that scene where he says, oh, I can swim pretty well. I think it's cute. There's the mine behind him, a representation of it, which I like, and Kira is blue, which is also one of my favorite scenes. So overall, I'm satisfied. For the second bag, this is gonna be the base of it, which behind there is nothing, but the front is very Star Warsy to me. Like, it looks like the aesthetic of Star Wars. There's the label that I don't like, but except that, I think it's already good like that, but I have to make it my own. First of all, I tried to remove the label. While doing that, I ripped the whole bag because I don't know how it was attached. The leather was very cheap, so it just ripped through, and also I wasn't being the most careful person ever. But it's fine because I was gonna cover it anyway, so whatever. For the design that I wanted to put in the front, I thought about a lot of things, but then I decided to go very simple and just do a lightsaber. The only difficult part of a lightsaber would be the handle, which has a bit of details, but honestly it's not bad at all. And I guess there's the shading of the lights, but it's very easy to draw. Then I cut it to size, I made little round corners, and I glued it on the bag. Extremely easy. And that's the final Loungefly. It's definitely the one I worked the least for, but also it is really cool that sometimes I can make some that are very easy to do, so this whole process of trying to make my own Loungefly is not dreading. So this week I made 2, one of them being very easy. My favorite part is definitely the Kida portrait. I think it's pretty much the only successful thing. The rest I don't dislike, it's just that I'm not gonna say those Loungefly are my favorite, yet I'm still very glad I took the time to make them and I can add them to my collection, which is steadily growing. I now have 10 Loungefly. Bye!